The infamous #MeToo movement against sexual harassment has taken the world by a storm, with not a single but many countries adopting their own culturally appropriated versions of the cause. The currently hot career-destroying alleged sexual abuse case against Canadian Chinese pop star Kris Wu is yet another product of the Chinese division of the same aforementioned undying movement. Don't forget to watch the full video for the complete account of the outrageous incident. Not too long ago, an iconic megastar, Kris Wu, age 30, was originally born in southern China but soon took up his Canadian citizenship. He initially rose to stardom as a member of a greatly popular Korean Chinese pop group titled EXO, but destined to make it on his own, Wu's popularity continued to rise higher and higher up as a solo act following his parting of ways from the EXO in 2014. He went on to bag lead roles for his acting abilities and therefore soon had starred in multiple major high-budget films and modeled for namesake brands such as leading French fashion house Louis Vuitton, Italian luxury brand Bulgari, and Chinese cosmetic brand Kans Burberry, soon becoming one of the country's top brand ambassadors. The destructive allegations. The background of this dream-shattering case is set following Wu was first detained on July 31st, 2021 by Chinese authorities in the Chinese capital of Beijing, following a social media outrage over sexual assault allegations that have been pitted against him in what has become the most high-profile #MeToo case in China. The nasty allegations had initially emerged last month on a traditional Chinese social media platform, namely Weibo, wherein a woman posting under the verified handle Du Meizhu made alleged claims of sexual assault against Wu, whose full Chinese name is Wu Yifan, whom she said while she had gone to the star's home for a supposed casting interview, forced her into alcoholic indulgence and then went on to sexually abuse her. Later that same day, when she was in a poor drunk state. The woman, said to be a student at the Communication University of China in Beijing City, said she was 17 at the time when the alleged assault took place. She further claims that several other women, including 2 underage minors, had likewise reached out to her to share similar experiences of having been lured into having forceful intercourse by Wu, known as one of China's biggest stars. Following these allegations, Wu's legal representatives took a rather quiet stance, not making any statements at all when requested by China's popular news channel CNN for a response. The formal statement from the prosecutor's office of Chaoyang District in Beijing released a statement pertaining to the news that Wu's arrest for suspected rape has been formally approved that Monday, although it did not offer any further details on the authenticity of charges. Before Wu stood detained, Wu had repeatedly denied the allegations on his personal Weibo account. Although later, a comment from his company hinted at pursuance of legal action against the accuser, terming the accusations no more than malicious rumors. Many of his biggest brand collaborators were quick to completely cut off ties and distance themselves as the rape allegations spread like wildfire this July. Wu's dramatic downfall further accelerated after his detention. His previously crazy popular social media accounts, including his Weibo page with more than 51 million followers, were taken down in the matter of a single night. His songs and albums were also quickly removed from popular music streaming sites. As the news took momentum, Wu's arrest had unsparingly become the top trend on Weibo, with comments showing the majority of the public standing firm in support of the police action. A Weibo hashtag related to this incident had been viewed over a hefty 1.6 billion times as of early Tuesday morning. The Chinese #MeToo movement. Wu's case is definitely not the only #MeToo scandal that has rocked China in recent weeks. Just this past Monday, the Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba announced that it had got rid of an employee who has been accused of sexually assaulting another employee on the course of a business excursion. In both these cases, victims have posted their allegations on Chinese social media, which has sparked an online uproar and prompted Chinese authorities to further investigate the claims. The authorities' swift following action won great praise from many online, who pointed to the 2 cases as an indication of the effective and efficient rule of law and criminal justice in the Chinese state. Yet, eyebrows have been raising due to the high-profile nature of both the cases, which goes on to highlight how just very rare it is for survivors to actually speak up in their journey to seeking justice. It is unsurprising that both cases have drawn such wide attention, given Kris Wu and Alibaba's high profile, comments Feng Yuan, a feminist scholar and activist. But this also serves as a reminder that for many other cases of sexual harassment and assault, if the accused are not so famous or influential, victims might not have their voices heard at all. Sexual assault survivors have far long faced serious stigma and resistance in China, both at the official level as well as amongst the public. The issue was pushed to the forefront in 2018 while the hashtag #MeToo movement took speed and went global. In China too, it prompted more and more females to come out and share their personal experiences with sexual misconduct and assault. However, the movement was quickly squashed as the government took steps to discourage the growing online discussion by censoring all related posts, hashtags, and keywords. Activists took these recent events as the perfect example that goes on to show that the Chinese government is still reluctant to discuss sexual misconduct as a systemic problem, instead preferring to report on individual cases and cast blame elsewhere. For instance, a government watchdog agency claimed that the Kris Wu scandal illustrated the black hand of the capital and the wild growth of the entertainment industry. And in an editorial, the state-run Global Times tabloid commented saying the Alibaba incident reflected a need for increased legal and moral supervision in the world of the internet, and for companies to better align their main objectives with the country's societal values. Quite understandably, neither of the alleged victims in both the Kris Wu and Alibaba cases linked their allegations to the hashtag #MeToo movement, because this would have easily drawn censorship to their cause on social media, Feng further added. Yet still, for many activists, the case duo still offers an undying ray of hope and a telltale sign that even though the government may not want to focus on instances of sexual misconduct, the public undoubtedly does. No matter whether they call it hashtag #MeToo or not, the essence is hashtag #MeToo, concluded Feng. Although most prominent feminist social media accounts have been censored, the victims can always manage to find their own ways to speak out. Online presence overnight erasure. Just a mere day following the authorities having announced Wu's arrest, almost entirety of his online presence, inclusive of his songs and videos, his social media accounts, and his die-hard fan forums, disappeared overnight, either a courtesy of having been taken down or possibly simply banned by major Chinese social media platforms such as Weibo, Baidu, Douban, Douyin, or Chinese TikTok, Tencent's QQ Music, and various other popular music streaming services. Most of these platforms have cited relevant regulations and laws or violations of its community rules as the main reason behind having blocked or removed Wu's content. But the firms haven't so far given a formal explanation the exact specific rules they were referring to. Further along with his own, even the Weibo accounts of 3 female celebrities who defended Wu back in 2016 when a woman accused him of treated her coldly came into the folds and were also either removed or banned from posting. It is hard to figure out whether the removal of Wu's presence is the Chinese Cyberspace Administration's call, in a nod to the public sentiment, or an action taken by Weibo itself, says Fang Ke-chang, an assistant professor of journalism at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. I tend to believe that at least in the case of the 3 celebrities whose accounts were suspended for voicing support for Wu, the termination seems more like an order from the authorities, he adds, because otherwise, Weibo didn't have to waste the traffic that could have been generated by the 3. Unending scrutiny for Chinese entertainment industry. The swift removal of Wu's media presence, meanwhile, goes on to show that companies are today increasingly wary of landing on the wrong side of public opinion. The luxury brands we previously mentioned having cut their ties with Wu did so even prior to his formal arrest by the police, as the direct result of tens of thousands of enraged comments on Weibo. His arrest is seen by many as a sign of China's determination to extend its rules and regulations to the entertainment industry, where celebrities' staggering paychecks have constantly infuriated the public, majority of who believe society is increasingly lacking more and more sense of equality. In an article published yesterday by state-owned Chinese news agency Xinhua, a sentence explained that Wu's arrest once again rings the alarm bell for the entertainment industry. And that's it for the video. If you want to find out what turn Wu's case takes next, don't forget to watch watch our future videos for that and more of such interesting content. Goodbye!